I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, everybody, welcome to the April 28th BOS meeting. So first thing we're going to do is the roll call.
Bonnie Canyon here.
Tim Kerman here.
Tracy Donovan here.
Yep, Mike and Roxanne are both excused for tonight. All right, approval of minutes. We have.
Yep.
Does anybody have a chance to read the minutes over?
I have not.
We want to table that till next.
It's for April 14th.
Oh. Oh, that, yeah, I'm sorry. I was thinking last week. Oh, we weren't here. We budget last week. Oh, yeah, these ones I did.
All right, so we want a motion
I'll
to
make a
accept.
motion to accept. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Who's second?
I see.
Tracy. The other person here.
Well, I didn't know if you did.
Good. All right. Next thing we have is personal action forms. Am I correct?
Yep. And I had oath of office. That's okay.
Is there an oath of office?
There's two oath of office.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do that then. So the first one we have is for Dan Saliga, ZBA membership for 1 year. So, is there a motion to accept Dan for the ZBA?
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. And the next one is Dan Saliga for Conservation Commission alternate for 1 year.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye. Yeah, just switching back and forth. Yeah.
All right, Kim, these are increases?
Those are the 3%
Yep.
COLA. I haven't got everybody's. Those are just the ones so far that have turned them in.
Do we need to go name by name or?
Need your signature under POS.
Right, I'm asking, we already accepted these, right?
Yep.
So we don't need to,
Yeah, it's,
we accepted these, one thing.
we just need signatures.
Yes, perfect. All right, while we're doing that, do you want to look at the fire warden appointments?
You need to sign it.
Oh, and I also had. Oh, yeah, that's those two. Next one.
We'll break our hands tonight.
That's on that one. Okay.
Hello.
Um,
I'm so sorry.
You don't be, it's not you, it's totally me. We just moved 9 off of road 8.
That one needs to sign the bottom one.
Yes.
I won't have it.
You won't have what?
Right.
Oh, moving it up, yep.
All right, fire warden. Bruce Manchester?
There's two of them.
Yeah, myself and Bruce Manchester need to be added as deputy wardens. Bruce not on this. Mike Lavalette retained the forest fire warden position in town. I thought it was more appropriate somebody lives in town for this.
Yeah, he brought those to me.
Yep.
Yep,
So we just need to sign off on these?
yep.
Yes, the state just requires you guys to sign off,
Perfect.
essentially so we can enforce the open burning laws.
Just a quick question, Jared. Have you guys taken a look at the photocopies that I'm sending over to you? Am I filling those out properly?
You are, yeah.
Okay.
All right, and while we're signing this, Jerry, you want to talk about?
Yes, so a few things, while we're on the forest fire one, I am getting pricing to fix, replace the Smokey the Bear sign out front here.
Yep.
It's falling apart, so it's, they sell a few different options, they're relatively cheap, but just so you know, that is in the process of working on, with Mike Butler on that. Jared Roden, Fire Chief, just a couple of things. Part of the SCBA capital reserve, is for replacement. One thing is the air packs still have quite a bit of life left in them. However, the SCBA bottles that were purchased with those, for a lack of better terms, they're too big. They're 45-minute SCBA cylinders, which at one point in time was kind of thought in the industry to be a good idea. Since realized it's not the best idea, it puts more exertion and stress, and big firefighters work too long. So kind of the process of starting to replace some of those, I priced out 8 of them that'll outfit our new engine with the correct size cylinders, as well as have enough for when our firefighters go through the firefighter 1 class in the fall, the correct size cylinders. There's 3 quotes here. You'll see that they're drastically different. Well, 2 of them are similar, one's drastically different. I did some research. The much lower price at $63.20 is actually the company that produces the bottles for Scott Safety, which is the other 2 prices. They're the exact same thing, they just won't say Scott Safety on them, but it's a tremendous savings. They're all exactly the same equipment. So I'm just looking for authorization. There was 54,000 before the town meeting, so there should be just about 70,000 in that account now, that capital reserve account.
Okay.
So I'm just looking to spend $63.20 out of that capital reserve for the SCBA's on some replacement bottles.
So a motion to allow them to spend the money, we got the bottles.
What will happen with the old ones?
We'll retain them. They're still serviceable. That way, if we have a failure in another one, that we can use them. We're going to keep them on the other apparatus for now, but this is just kind of, we're going to replace them in a stepwise fashion rather than do it all at once. Just essentially to make sure that that's the direction we want to go before we replace all of them.
And which CRF is that coming out of?
SCBA replacement. Like I said, after town meeting, there should be about 70,000. Maybe just shy. I was 54. I think we put 15 in, so we're around 69,000.
I'll make a motion to accept. I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor to spend $63.20 for the heating carbon fiber cylinders?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. All right.
And the other one is a little unique. So I spoke with Roxanne. What we're looking to do is the members ourselves are looking to, we have, obviously, as everybody can see, the firehouse needs a little bit of a facelift. Paint's peeling off, trim's all broken and whatnot. So I got some pricing from Middleton Supply Valleys for the materials only to side the front of the building and the ridge road side of the building, and replace all the trim around the doors and the windows on that side, as well as the fascia boards. And then they didn't add in hardware and things like that. We're gonna need some paint to paint like the bottom of the bricks and stuff. If the members wanna do the work themselves, we just need the materials. I just thought it'd be easier if we go with the local vendor, that way if we need to pick something up, we go right down the
Yeah.
street. So
you guys are doing all the work, you're just looking to,
yeah,
yeah,
we
flies.
have just over 10,000 left in the new edition CRF. I'd like to authorize up to $5,000, not up to $5,000.
So not 5,000, but up to that,
Yeah, up to.
so it could be less.
Correct. I expect it to be less. And then we'll reevaluate and then see what we have left for funds for the rest of the building. But we wanted to start there, just kind of give a facelift, make it a little more presentable to the town. I think helping make the town look a little bit nicer too. So it'll be vinyl siding and PVC trim around the doors, so it'll be a white trim, and the building itself would be like a light gray.
Okay.
So yeah, up to $5,000 out of the new edition CRF for building materials at La Valley.
Do we know how much is in that?
Just over 10,000.
So, okay.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to accept. Second.
So, you all in favor? Aye.
Hi.
Okay.
That's all you got. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
I have
you.
two questions.
Oh,
Yes.
What are you gonna do to smoke it out?
We're gonna just replace it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just gonna get a new one. That one's all rotted.
Yeah, it
So,
is.
yeah, but it'll still be a smoky, just be a new one. Hopefully it'll be metal, if they're aluminum.
not getting rid of them.
So hopefully the aluminum, I think, might last a little bit longer. It'll still look the same, but it won't be
What
on.
are you gonna do with the old smoky?
That's a good question, I haven't thought that far ahead, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
All right.
Second question is,
Hey, you want it in your front yard?
I was just gonna say,
Maybe hang on.
I might want it in my front yard with my neighbor's on.
We could have a second sign to help get the message around town.
I'll cross that bridge when we get there. So the school is a certifiable emergency shelter? Because I have been getting counter information.
Yes and no. Technically, it needs a generator,
Okay.
but it's in our plan as our shelters, because it's really the only space we have. The good thing is that the county public health network has trailers that carry all the shelter materials in them, so all we have to do is make a phone call, have all the beds,
Yeah, I didn't get counter information, so that's good to know.
yeah, beds, toiletries, all that kind of stuff would come from the county public health network in the event.
I know it's something to go down to Rochester, but.
No, so in the regional shelter is at the Rochester Middle School. But if we had a local event or a large scale area event where Rochester would go on, if there was an issue at Seabrook, then that takes that out of play. 'Cause,
Right.
that's what that's designated for, but we do have the ability to utilize that building.
Great, thank you.
Absolutely. We are working on the grant for the generator.
Yeah.
Good.
So more to come on that.
Quick run.
Is that?
Quick run.
Oh, yes. Thank you guys, take care.
Thank you.
That's what I need a
All right. Thank you, Jared.
This isn't being taken.
All right, so next on the agenda is waste management.
Where do you want me to?
Where would you like to be?
Wherever you want me.
Wherever
You can stay right there if you want.
It's spread out, I guess. Maybe taking it. Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board. For the record, Pete LaChapelle with Waste Management. Some of you may know that Waste Management used to service the town about 5 years ago. And I appreciate the opportunity to come in and discuss what Waste Management can offer. The industry as a whole has changed drastically over the last, I want to say, since COVID hit, maybe 5 years. Just about every company, except a couple of some of the small mom and pop shops that have 1 or 2 trucks, are migrating to what we call automated collection. You may have seen it if you've been in the city of Rochester, that has, the robotic arm that picks up the car and dumps overhead. Waste Management as a company, our corporate directive is to go all automated. And the reason for that is, well, a couple of reasons. One, we can't hire anyone to get in and out of the truck, 500, 600, 700, 800 times a day. We just, no matter what we pay them, it's tedious and hard work, right? With automation, someone my age could get in the truck and just do a joystick all day and just pick it up, dump overhead. We have different style trucks, but typically it's a what we call a side load automated truck that dumps overhead. So that's what we would be positioning. The carts, again, you guys do not do any recycling here. So it's weekly pickup, if I'm not mistaken, that has changed. So I would recommend, because you're mixing both recycling and trash, would be a 96-gallon container, a little bit more, your recyclables and your trash. And people say, no, you need more than that. Well, 96 gallon, well, that's over 3 30-gallon pails that they may have at their house right now. That's the way we're migrating to. Aesthetically, it looks so much cleaner, less blown wood. On our end, it's safer for our drivers, we can retain drivers, it's less wear and tear on their body and injuries.
No, people have to buy the tails.
No, waste management, unless the town wanted to buy, but it's kind of a headache, and then you have to maintain
Right.
some for spares, someone moving in, moving out, a new home. With waste management, and every company would do this, even your current vendor, we would purchase them, we would deliver them to every home, get a 96-gallon cart.
Mhm.
And they break, in their plastic, they have a 10-year warranty, but typically what we see break on those over time, the wheels or the lid. And we don't have to replace it, we have a mobile truck that will go around and repair it right on site, if it's that simple. If it's broke, then we would replace it. But no, we would purchase them, maintain them, and deliver them, as far as the cars go. Now, I did receive some information from you, Tim.
Yep.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I still would need, so I can run numbers, if that's what you're looking for, total tonnage. If you
That's,
can
yeah,
get
still trying to get that for you. Yeah.
And your current vendor should have that.
Okay.
You can ask them for, the last 2 or 3 years, January to December, total tonnage. It's bulky, are they picking it up with the same truck, do you know?
Yes.
They are, okay, so that time would be included. Now, with automated collection, you can't collect bulky with that type of truck, right? Because the hopper is up on top. Unless we use what we call a Corrado can, and I'll leave you some information. I didn't print out enough, so I apologize, but Corrado can, again, it's an automated, it has an arm in front of this can that's ground level, and we can lift overhead. But that's something that, you have 2 events a year.
Yes.
Bulky.
Yeah.
The town's still issuing 2 free stickers.
Yes.
And then,
Yep.
2, and then they purchase. What's the price of the purchase?
$5. Yeah, it's cheap.
We have Mike Green joining us for a moment, joining us through phone right now, so.
Would that knock out bulk day altogether?
What's that?
Would that knock out bulk day for Middleton?
No, we can still do it. It would just be, that would be internal, what truck we would want to use. If we use what we call that Corrado truck, that has a can out front, we could potentially do the bulky with that, but typically we would run those 2 events a year. We'd run a rear load truck and send another truck up.
Okay.
Depends. But the reason why I need that tonnage
Yep.
is it's kind of crucial because I know what that truck can hold for yards and tons. So if I can't fit it all in one day, then I'm gonna have to split that up multiple days.
We have 2 days a week that
Yeah,
we run now.
when we did it in one day, on a Monday.
Yep.
We did everything, but I think sometimes we sent the helper truck up
Mhm.
because the tonnage was heavy.
So yeah, Woodstock, definitely Woodstock, work on getting that from them.
Yeah.
But yeah, Woodstock, that's the only piece of information so far I've been unable to get.
Right.
We have more roads than I thought we did in town too.
More what now?
More road,
Yeah.
more miles of road than I
Yeah,
thought.
39.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the automated, I think, I've had people, the city of Dover just voted to go with it, city of Somersworth, Roger's been doing it since, I think they started it in 2007. East Kingston's fully automated, Fremont, Kingston, more and more municipalities. I won't respond, I just can't hire anyone to.
What is the cost savings?
Well, it's efficiency. Up front, that's why when we do this, you don't want to go less than 5 years. I wouldn't go probably more than 7, but I can look at that. But usually 5 years, I will spread that cost because I don't believe I'm going to need to purchase a new vehicle. If I did, it's going to raise my cost, for an automated. But the carts itself, if I spread that cost out over a 5 or 7 year period, helps lower the cost.
Okay.
And then I had, like, City of Dover was looking at purchasing their own, there's grants out there, but then if you did, you own them, you repair them.
We have to repair them,
You have to
maintain them,
repair them.
all that.
Now, if we damage them, we're gonna fix it.
Right.
If it's a residence neglect, like you were so mad coming home from a board meeting, you ran into your car, well, then you're responsible for that.
Is that you, Bonnie?
No, figure it out.
I know.
Is it more of a cost to collect trash on 2 different days versus 1?
yeah, you're rolling twice, 2 times a week. It depends, it's how you slice the apple, right? I have to look, the tonnage is gonna play a big important role. I have some familiar with it from 5 years ago, but things change.
Yeah.
Right.
I need to look at what the tonnage is for 2, maybe 3 years would be ideal. And that way I can see trend. And if you folks remember back in 2020 when COVID hit, everything shut down, right? So we saw all what we call commercial customers, tonnage plummeted. The rest, everything was closed, but residential went
People
through the roof.
cleaning out their
Yeah,
houses.
transfer stations, curbside collection, people cleaning, doing this. So that went through the roof, but it stabilized. People are back to work. But that tonnage will indicate if I can do it in 1 day, if I have to have a second truck, or if I need to go 2 days. I'm sending 2 trucks in 1 day, or 1 truck 2 days, it'd be about the same, because I gotta roll either 2 or 1 truck 2 days.
Well, what about the larger container that we have now over at the municipal building? Will that go away?
I would, well, and you could do what we call a front-load container for your dry trash. It's a different truck. If you wanted to use a couple of toters at the town hall, which, do you know what size that is over there?
I don't.
No, it's not very big though, yeah.
I mean, you could, either way, you could have what we call a front-load container. It's a steel container with a lid. Is it locked, do you guys lock that?
No.
No.
No?
No.
But you could do that, or the car, or, curbside, and my truck that's in town
Mhm.
can pick it up. Do you fill it, how often is that service, do you guys know?
Once a week.
Once a week?
It's empty once a week, yeah.
Yeah. I'd have to look, you might need 2 or 3. If it's a 2-yard, is it relatively small?
Relatively, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably like a 2 or 4-yard container.
Yeah, I was gonna say about 4.
Okay. But that can be looked at, but.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the automation, and I know next week when your current vendor comes in, or whenever your next meeting is with them, they're probably, I'm surprised they haven't approached you already about going automated, because they're having the same issues we have.
Yeah.
And it's the only thing I can do. I can't do manual pickup anymore, I can't hire anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't offer other than automated?
Yeah.
Okay, and,
We do have some existing clients, like Exeter. Somersworth and Dover are still what we call manual.
yeah,
Well, we have what we call a low entry, 1-man truck. He's literally stands while he's driving. It's about 5-6 inches that he steps down and throws the trash in, or the
Yep.
recycling in, and steps back up. I do that, all day long, dead of winter and or summer. Takes a lot out of your body.
do residents have the option to buy additional bins?
Yeah, we're gonna charge per car
Yeah.
that we service, because right time is money. So if you have 1, but Tim has 2, well, the town's paying for this, so it'll be broken out by a per car price. And depending on how many carts that we deliver will be your set fee. And if a new development is brought into town, new home, then we'd add 1 or 10 or how many there are.
Okay, so when you do our quote, because I heard you first say that Waste Management was buying the carts bins, and then you said it would be cheaper to do out 7 years, which means the town's paying for that. So
I have to recoup my costs.
I
but we
understand, I just want to be very
Yeah.
clear with how much the actual bins are going to cost versus what we're doing
I
now.
mean, typically, with resin and everything going up, I'd say 96-gallon cart is gonna run $70 a cart. Multiplied by, you sent me the list. And by the way, that list was great, but I did notice there were some businesses on there, what's
Okay.
in Middleton, the Valley. How you need, if that was done on your software or whoever did that, if they could just single-family homes or
Okay.
duplexes.
Yeah, that was done by Robin Potter.
Yeah, get rid of anyone that qualifies for curbside pickup. A business, I don't believe us, because I know when we did it, it was Middleton, Building Supply, they had our containers,
Yeah,
so.
Okay.
Well,
that
that,
would give me a true,
I'm guessing you're gonna be doing a quote for us.
yeah.
As soon as we get the tonnage, then the other thing, yep.
Yeah, once I get that, then I'll start running my pro forma internally, I'll get with my operations, see if I can do this in a day. If it's multiple days, we're not gonna do a Monday, Friday, it's gonna be back to back.
Yeah.
Which makes, to me, sense. You know, half a town on Monday, the other half on a Friday.
Yeah.
But that's at the time that, Pinard, that's what, the only thing they had available.
Now, is, each resident only allowed one 96 gallon?
We strongly recommend that. You're not recycling here, because in most communities, they recycle.
Right.
But that's gonna add even more cost, especially with processing. We strongly recommend one, that's why I'm recommending a 96 gallon
Okay.
car versus a 64.
Right.
They're bigger, very easy to move, they're on wheels.
Yeah.
My mom's 83, she can wheel it down.
Because in Rochester, I think we were told we're only allowed one
Yeah.
because we
Because
also
have
have
weekly
racing.
recycling and weekly trash.
Mm-hmm.
So you got 64 for each. Now, there will be that anomaly where there's a young family that has 8 kids, God love them, better than me, but.
Yeah.
But that's a one-off case. Normally, people, break down their cardboard boxes.
But they do have the option to purchase an additional.
Well, yeah, it would be whatever, yeah.
I just
they have
know
it
that's
on
a
their
question
purse.
we're gonna get, so I need that
Yeah.
answer.
Yes, of course. That they would, it would be purchased on the
Yeah.
car, actually, we would own it, so it would just be a monthly increase of whatever it is for a monthly service. For whatever it will be, but once I run my numbers, I'll have that, be able to lay it all out for you.
And we would be able to know the residents, because I would imagine
Yeah.
we would only allow one, and then anything additional would be passed on to the residents.
Yeah, what, if the resident could purchase it, or typically where it's a municipally billed service, we're invoicing the town itself. So we would invoice the town, even if another one.
Yep.
I don't know if we could.
And then we would have to pass on that cost.
Yeah, then you could pass on,
Right.
whatever it is for the year. But, one car,
Hey, Tim.
95%.
Mike, you have a question?
Yeah, how much are the additional bins to get?
Well, again, until I run my numbers, I don't know. Ballpark would be like $10 a month, a ballpark. I don't know until I
You
run
have to
my
rent
numbers.
it?
Not,
You have to rent an extra
Yes.
bin?
if someone wants a second container.
That's fine, I just
Yeah.
clearing it up, I mean,
Yeah.
I just didn't
Okay.
understand. I thought you could just like pay a fee and then,
We charge per car per month, and I'll break that all out, because we're stopping, and, I'm spending, 8 seconds at this house, your house is spending 20, if I get 2 or more.
Right.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not,
Thank you.
I just didn't understand.
now the list that you provided, once we clean it up, get the businesses out.
Yep.
If the town decides to go with Oscor, Casella, or whatever vendor you go with, that list will be given to the vendor that we hire to assemble and distribute the cards for us. And then they'll have, each card has its own unique individual serial number. That card remains at that house. If you move, that card's not yours, it stays with the house, or cards if you have multiple.
Okay.
It stays with the owner. But the town will get a copy of that spreadsheet with all the serial numbers that are associated with your address, everyone's address.
How durable are these cards?
They're very durable.
Very.
Yeah, they're very
I-
durable.
It's silly, but we have a problem in our neighborhood with squirrels chewing up trash cans.
No, I mean,
so-
well, put it this way, if a bear wants to get in it, bear's gonna get in it.
We have that problem too.
Yes, and I've had that problem as well.
Bears, raccoons,
Yeah.
squirrels, we have a
raccoons
lot of
in
that.
Rochester, and Kingston, and East Kingston, and Fremont, all these towns.
So do they latch good?
Well, yeah,
or
it's just that they
they
shut,
just-
we want
they don't
that lid completely shut, we don't want overage, because that's dangerous for the
Right.
driver. Or vehicles or something that may be parked near it, and he picks it up and something falls off.
So people would be expected to be able to shut the lid.
Yeah, I mean, if it's parked up a
Yeah.
little bit, they're not gonna say, but if there's,
Yeah.
this is the top of the thing, and there's 5 bags on top of it, that's an issue.
Yep.
But with with the carts, with the lids and everything, the town's I'm speculating, but maybe see reduced tonnage from what I call, or what the industry calls leakage from other communities that either have to pay to get rid of it. Because I know I pushed 6-7 years ago to have the town implement some type of sticker program for the bulky, because everyone, I mean, there were piles of stuff everywhere. And I haven't seen the tonnage, but I bet that tonnage has decreased substantially now.
It depends on the year. I still see a lot, some places that seems like an overage.
Yeah, and that $5, I mean, that's, I would say 10 or up, but that's just me from other communities. You want, I mean, how much bulky stuff do you generate a year? How many cups?
Depends on the year. Depends on the year.
Yeah, I mean, unless you had wiring.
When there's new people moving in, is a big thing.
Yeah.
Because they're going through stuff and getting rid of things
Yeah.
and stuff, so that's a big thing to get rid of the bulk.
Normally when someone buys a mattress or a couch, bought a discount or wherever, they'll take the other. You gotta pay, but they'll take the other.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I'm gonna pay $5 here, so I might as well wait instead of paying $50 for them to take it.
Yeah, when I did property management in Dover, we increased from $10 to $15 because of all the stuff that was, and it's per item.
Well,
If you have a table and 5 chairs, you gotta have one for all of it.
Rochester, before we migrated to carts, we're getting leakage from Somersworth, Dover, because both communities are paid to throw, so they gotta buy a bag,
Yep.
and whatever it is,
Yeah.
per bag, so we were getting a lot of leakage, and when we migrated to the carts, our tonnage decreased substantially.
Any other questions?
Yeah, what are the opportunities for recycling? Not picking up, but for bringing like, aluminum cans down to the facility in Rochester. Does that still exist anymore?
No,
Okay.
no, unfortunately, it's just for Rochester residents. The host community agreement is only for the city of Rochester, so residents in the city can use what we call residential truck hauling.
Do you know anybody who takes the aluminum cans?
Um,
So I'll ask, is it in
I
the
mean,
field?
I know you mentioned Boy Scouts sometimes,
Yep.
like that, and, once they get enough, they can bring it down to Berwick Meadows or wherever, Northwood Harding,
Mm-hmm.
and, make some money on it. But other than that, I'm not really familiar with.
That's fine, thank you.
Sure.
Shapley Elementary,
Shapley,
there's a big thing right out in front of
Does your quote include, so I heard you say that approximately a bin or a cart would cost $70,
Probably, yeah.
and if you charge per month at $10, I'm thinking well within, a year you've paid for this, yet your
Well, that
contract
$10,
would be, hold on a second, your contract would be 5 years, so is there any decrease along the way? Okay.
no, because that, whatever my cost is per unit that I'm charging, is my truck has to go down every street, right? And that's my biggest cost. Even if you don't put your car out, I still gotta go buy your house. I had some people, well, I didn't have my lot, why should I be paid? And then, well, I still gotta go buy your house. I get it, snowbirds, this and that, but no, it won't. And actually, it's gonna increase annually because my costs are increasing. So you're gonna get an annual price increase, same that you enjoy now with your current benefit.
Thank you.
Anybody else? No? All right, Chief,
Can I leave this with you?
can you leave that with Kim?
Yeah.
She'll make copies for us.
I only made one copy.
She'll add it with the minutes.
I'll get them to them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pete.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good seeing you.
If you come back, would there be any way you could bring a cart?
I think I can fit one in my truck.
I'm just saying people might.
No, it'd be great to see you, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let me see what I have for information. I have your email.
You do.
address.
Yep.
I'll send you some specs, but to see one and then, just kind of feel it.
Yep.
And how
Yeah.
they feel. Yeah, I can definitely do that.
That'd be great.
Perfect. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pete.
All right.
Or we could message him and have him drop it off to me and I can bring it up to show you guys.
Absolutely.
Because he just lives around the corner.
All right. Kim's not here. That's our next thing.
I don't know what that was.
That was a highway thing.
Okay. So we'll table that. Budget committee hearing.
I hear you, yep.
Say again? Mike?
Yep, go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, I was asking what you were saying then.
Oh, I thought you said, can I hear you still? Sorry.
Oh, no. No, I just said budget committee hearing. That's our next one.
Okay.
Anybody want to talk about that?
Sure. So there's a couple things. This is a public hearing
Mm-hmm.
for the budget committee. It's not posted.
This meeting tonight, here?
No,
No.
next
What do you mean it's not
Monday.
posted?
Next Monday?
It is not posted as a public hearing. I've been to the school, it's not at the school. I have not seen it at the municipal building, it is not on the town website. There's a special meeting listed.
Okay,
that's
so
not
I-
a public hearing listed.
All right, then I just need to change that title,
But it's 7 days ahead that has to be done.
which would be today.
Business days,
Which would be today.
which is not today because it's business days and you have a weekend in there.
And
I did write to the chair of the budget committee, and she said she thought everything was being done, and then I was asked not to write to her personal email, because she wants to keep everything with the budget committee emails, and I understand that, but I knew she wouldn't read it right away. So, I tried. But I do not see it posted correctly,
okay.
so that meeting needs to be changed.
Can I ask you a question? Why are you having a budget committee hearing?
Because the school, when the school voted on their warrant articles, they voted not to get the increases for the teacher salaries over the next 3 years, that part there. I forget which one it was. But they did vote to do a special meeting. To do that special meeting, they have to present it to the budget committee. The budget committee needs to have a public hearing.
Yes.
So this was supposed to
really needs to
happen
be
Monday,
properly
but it
noticed,
has to be
yes.
properly noticed, and it has not been.
Okay, Thank
I
you.
did try to get it done, but,
Thank you.
Okay,
so,
that's, all right.
And that makes it a moot point then.
yes,
They can't have their meeting, then our meeting could be back here.
yes.
Is this time sensitive? I mean.
It
Yes,
has to be so many days
I mean,
before,
the hearing, yeah.
Yes.
Posting the hearing, but I'm talking about the hearing itself. Is that time
Yes.
sensitive?
all of it.
yes, it
Yep.
is. So.
It really
they're gonna
isn't
have to
though.
change
I mean, it's time
Right,
sensitive
it's
for
time-
the school board.
Right.
There is no law when you can have the special
it.
meeting.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
So they're
They
just
just
gonna
want
have
to
to
get
change
them
their
scheduled.
dates. Yes.
They want the agreement done.
Yeah, the school board does. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Basically, they want it so the teachers can decide whether they want to stay or not, I guess.
Mhm. So,
They won't be happy.
no, I'm sure they won't, but it should have been checked out, and we need to do things by the law, so.
Yep.
God, because if you don't, God forbid.
Exactly, it will come back at us, so it needs to be done correctly. And I believe, I'm not positive, but I believe that the warrant article needs to be posted with it.
Well, we'll have to talk to them and what's called their legal team. So,
Bonnie will talk to them.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can put it out there for the budget committee, but the budget committee email is not read very often, so until she reads it.
So you haven't heard anything from Sierra?
The only thing I heard was when I messaged the other day, she sent a message back saying she thought everything had been done for it and asked me not to message her on her private email. She wants to keep everything together on the budget email, which I do understand wanting it all together. I only used her private email because I knew she wouldn't read the other one right away. She normally doesn't. So I thought it was kind of time sensitive. That's why I did that. So I can send it but when it gets read, I don't know. So,
Yep, it's all this working to do except for that.
so, yeah.
That was my only concern, to be able to not have our meetings on top of each other.
Yes.
Alright. So you'll reach out to her about that?
I will try.
Cool. Town communication, I found what's called a policy that I've been working on for everybody to review. If you want, we can table that till chance everybody's had to read it,
Yes, please.
then we'll do that. Alright, any BOS comments?
So if these are the couple of things at a table, am I gonna add it to the next meeting or
Yeah.
wait to hear? Okay.
Well, I mean, so, do we know what's going on with Jim? Why is that here tonight, or?
I don't know, I haven't heard from him.
He's not with Roxanne.
I think I'm on vacation with them.
I'll reach out.
So I guess what's called, we'll just take Jim off until we hear differently.
Yeah. I just thought he went with Roxanne over to Ireland or wherever they are.
He could have.
She's going to Ireland and then Birmingham. I think
Yeah, she'll come,
Yeah,
she'll
she's
go
going
to
to work.
Ireland and come back and go to DC and then go to Birmingham, yeah.
Alright. Any public comment?
Just a question, like, if the chair doesn't see that, how does the school board officially find out?
I'm sure Tim will pass it on to his wife.
Okay, it's not the way it's supposed to happen.
Oh, no, it's
Exactly,
not. We
exactly.
try to keep things very separate,
I know
so.
Patty checks the email sometimes, or at least she did, but,
She was
right,
at school.
right,
And
So
then she took it back over.
right. But she is chair, so, I mean, I don't know how else to get
So
it.
she'll have to reach out to Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
Because Nicole's the official representative.
I am curious, did the public have any further questions for waste management? I'm hoping to get the quote back, and I know that,
As soon as we get the tonnage.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot less trash, like floating around on the streets.
Mhm.
I mean, when you
Are
have
they
a
good
party,
signs?
you would have too much.
yeah.
Where you gonna have a spot for it?
What do you do with your trash now?
I got a little can. Compost and recycle. I don't have much. I should pay less.
Well, think of all the summer people around.
Oh, summer people.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying, if they're not there during the winter, he said even if he just drives by the house, he's gonna
yeah.
have to charge us.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of summer people, as you know, in our neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
See, and
So that makes a difference as well.
in Rochester now, where it's just two of us in the house, we only have to put our trash cans out every other week instead of weekly, you know?
But if this is based off per can instead of tonnage, I don't know how exactly they do that,
They
but,
all based on.
yeah.
Have we got a quote from our company now?
They're coming
Hoping here
next
at the
week.
next meeting.
There it is.
Yep.
But just so it kind of sinks in, we're renting the garbage can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
No, they own the garbage can.
Right.
He's just recouping the quote
The
off
quote.
of them
so,
over 7 years, but then they maintain them.
Yeah.
So we don't have to replace things separate or it gets totally annihilated.
mhm.
By the bears. Or the
You know,
kids.
they're
Yeah,
really,
they have bears in Rhode Island.
they're really
We do.
thick though, Bonnie. They're really thick. The bear can open it and just take out the trash. He's not gonna rip apart the cans.
I get my bear to take out the trash.
I know.
I mean, he may be able to, I don't know, even,
We have problems with bears, raccoons, squirrels, everything in
Me
our
too.
neighborhood.
I
So,
do in Rochester. I had a bear come right across the fence.
yeah. Yep. I've had them in my yard numerous times.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We'll see.
Alright. Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn at 7:13.
A second.
All in favor? Aye. Alright, thanks, Mike.
Hey, Tim, is there anything up there left that needs to be signed tonight?